This is RadioWilder.com with Harry, season 2018, welcoming Australia and Brazil to the lineup. Now in 17 countries, bringing you Wilder news flashes, the Hot Wilder t-shirt, cool rock and roll videos, and interviews every week. Now, here's Harry.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Hey, Radio Wilder fans, check out our latest video that we have up. It's of my lifelong friend, Ty Grimes, playing drums on a tune called Medicine Man. He's doing trio work on it. Ty and I have been pals since we were 14, lifelong friends. Both played the drums. He's still playing the drums. And he's played with some of the world's best musicians and bands, including a Radio Wilder favorite, Ricky Nelson. Check it out. What's up? Friday night, base of the Monk, base of Big Camelback, Camelback Studios. Back again, wondering what in the world are we going to do this weekend? I always wonder what in the world am I going to do this weekend. Got a wonderful, wonderful show tonight. I think we always have a wonderful, wonderful show, and some are contributions coming from you, which of course we're very happy to have. Instead of starting immediately with the homework, what I'm going to do tonight on the storytelling time is talk about the tremendous time we had in Nashville, Music City, share a few secrets with you, and a big upset that happened down in Nashville, and what a fun town it was. So we'll get into that in the storytelling. We have on the site some new pictures, hopefully. We certainly have our brand new MYM, our MIM, our meditation, our yoga, our Getting Mellow playlist. It's just a list sitting out there for anybody to use at your discretion, just for listening pleasure, or to use with one of those activities, or to do what Terry found out it was very successful at today. He played it in his office, and it put the two dogs to sleep. So I believe it's going to have some type of a merit, and you'll be able to enjoy it and have a wonderful time with it. Some of the new pictures might be from Nashville. We have some fans that have sent some of their stuff in, and so they'll get on the video. We're still trying to put it together in the charity. We have the video up in Wilder Video, which of course is the group, the little group that we're trying to get together and make it happen with that, and I think we're going to. On the 23rd of March, we're still on track to do our very first song broken into the American public's eyes and ears and every other kind of thing via video, and on our playlist, featured on our playlist on March 23rd. Hopefully we're going to have David come on with us, and we're going to try a Skype. But as I've mentioned before, my loyal, faithful Japanese fans, I'm not sure what the time frame is or the time difference for us to get that done, but we are going to do it. Another thing we're going to work on is we're going to try to double up the requests, because Mr. Music Player here is falling behind. I mean, we're playing them once a week and they're working. But the bad news is we're falling behind. The good news is we're very happy to have all the requests, more and more, and some new ones, an interesting one. And somebody's name came in that I'm not going to mention right now because I don't think I could pronounce it. But Marlene and I are trying, and she's trying to figure out, hopefully, we've added another country, and we're hoping it's Italy, but it looks like it's either going to be Italy or maybe a new one down in South America. So we'll be able to claim that for our stuff. And let's see, do we have anything else on here? Of course, you're going to have the Enquirer. We got some beauties tonight on the Enquirer. It's going to be very nice for you. You're going to enjoy it, as we always do. And I read something, I can't remember where it was, where it said, I didn't even know, and I don't know, and it's an honest thing. When I said to Marlene tonight, I said, what does Me Too mean? What is that? She had to explain to me what it was, and I certainly respect anybody that's ever had that happen. But I honestly do believe, like all hysteria, it's overblown. It does remind me of the Enquirer. So in the USA Today, I saw something that said, in Hollywood, the women, the actresses, said that 94%, they did a survey, had been sexually harassed. Now, anytime I see a number, I'm a numbers guy, of 94%, I got to really see some facts behind it. After reviewing the column and going down, as the disclaimers came up and up and up, and it was a small group from end of December to early Jan when all this was going on, and some were a third, we're not sure what sexual harassment was. You probably got down to 14, 18%. I don't know what the number is, but it eerily reminded me, or maybe joyously reminded me, of the Enquirer. The Enquirer speaks the truth, and now the other periodicals, the media, are joining up. The music tonight, J.P. Soars, S-O-A-R-S. Very interesting guy. He started off playing and recording with the heaviest of heavy metal groups. Found out that in his influences are Hank Wilson. That's good. Why don't we just say Brian Wilson? Hank Williams, Miles Davis, Dr. John, kind of really all over the Black Sabbath. He's everywhere. So what comes out of all this tunnel of influence is a very heavy-duty blues, rock and blues. He's currently on tour, playing a lot of Florida, Alabama, a lot of the southern. But I think he sets himself up. I liked his stuff, so you're going to get tuned into it, and I think you're going to want some more. In fact, I started looking for a tour to see where he might be. So we'll lead off with him. Next, 30 Days in the Hole by Humble Pie. Most of you probably don't know who that is or was. It was a group that featured Peter Frampton and some others. It was before Peter went solo. And after he decided to go solo, the album that they had worked on busted into a top 5, and he thought I'd made a terrible mistake, but in fact, he did not, and he had a great career. Next, Night Moves, Bob Seager, most notably known, another Detroiter like Eminem or Jack White. Noted his biggest band was the Silver Bullet Band, had a lot of great hits, and it was a lifelong best friend of Glenn Frey, and he's put out a new tribute song to honor Glenn Frey, and he just did that about a month ago. On top of that, he was playing, and he had a real problem with his back, and he had to have spinal surgery, and he's hoping with a career that started in 1961 that he can keep playing. Night Moves was probably his big song. We're going to play that for you. And then the biggest sticky of the night, I'm going to stop after we play 3, belongs to Robbie Robertson. And we'll get to him when the time is proper for Robbie to come on board. We'll start it off. Let's knock off 3, see where we are, see how we feel. Then we're going to take the longest sticky of the night. We're going to shorten it down. I'll try to abbreviate it, but I will send you and say you must go out to Wikipedia. You must go out to, there are several different information sources, discographies of him, because he will have the longest sticky on the show. So Full Moon Night in Memphis, lead it off. Let JP soar.
Full moon night in right, Ted. Anyone doing that one? Which one? 30. I'm doing it. 30 days in the hole. Yeah. That's nice. 30 days in the hole. 30 days in the hole. Lord have mercy. Oh, yeah. Come on in, man. That's it. Yeah, right.
RadioWilder.com. Now with listeners in 17 countries around the world, including Australia, Brazil, France, Germany, Japan, the UK, Ireland, India, Poland, Russia, and the US. Let us know where you're listening to RadioWilder.com.
Tall, could've used a few pounds. Tight pants points, hardly renowned. She was a black-haired beauty with big dark eyes and points all her own, sitting way up high. Way up firm and high. Out past the cornfields where the woods got heavy. Out in the back seat of my '60 Chevy. Well, working on mysteries without any clues, working on our night moves, trying to make some front page driving news, working on our night moves in the summertime. In the sweet summertime. We weren't in love, oh no, far from it. We weren't searching for some pie in the sky summit. We were just young and restless and bored, living by the sword. And we'd steal away every chance we could, to the back room, to the alley, or the trusty woods. I used her, she used me, but neither one cared. We were getting our share, working on our night moves, trying to lose the awkward teenage blues, working on our night moves. And it was summertime. Sweet summertime, summertime. Wonder, felt the lightning, yeah, waited on the thunder, waited on the thunder. I woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off, I sat and wondered. Started humming a song from 1962. Ain't it funny how the night moves, when you just don't seem to have as much to lose. Strange how the night moves, with autumn closing in. Night moves. Night moves.
Did 30 Days in the Hole, and I believe in this week's Enquirer we may have some candidates for that, if not longer, on the tribute song that's done, I Knew You When. That's the song that Bob Seager dedicated, or is a tribute song to Glenn Frey. That's the tune that he did. He also co-wrote the Eagles' big hit, Heartache Tonight. So Bob and that group are tied in pretty closely, pretty tight. Okay, longest sticky. Could be the longest sticky in history. The reason it could be the longest sticky is because Robbie Robertson, those of you that know, his most famous group was The Band. The Band had several iterations. He's from Canada, and they started off, and I remember one time reading someplace or seeing some documentary. They were so poor, they stole candy or stole stuff from some 7-Eleven to eat. They obviously morphed up into the bruisers that they became, and they're all, they were tied into several different musicians, but most notably Bob Dylan. They did several things with Bob. Now, Robbie himself has been involved in writing books, working in films, movies like Raging Bull, working with Martin Scorsese. He wrote most of the band stuff. He never sang. He had about 10 years before he did a single with them. But he went out to California, and they found a studio, Shangri-La, and they had done some tapes in early 71. I think Shangri-La came up about 76, 75. It was kind of an old ranch house. That was a 1937 ranch house that a movie star had, and the movie star was from the house was built in 37, and it was used in the famous, so I know plenty of you don't know this, the famous Mr. Ed, the talking horse from the 60s. They stabled Ed down there, and they also did the filming down there, and they did some other stabling down there also because they had what they called what was the term? Well, let's just say a high-priced bordello. But they had a real relaxed clubhouse feel down there, which helped them record. So these tapes that were done in 1971, Robbie put them together, then worked with Dylan on them, and what came out was a album that is probably they give the credit to both Dylan and the band, called The Lost Tapes. That's a good one too, and that came out. And then one of the guys got hurt in an accident, not bad, but he hurt his neck and he couldn't play. And they were getting about the time they were trying to do some individual projects. So what they decided to do was make one last concert. And when they decided to do one last concert, Billy Graham put him on the bill, rented Winter Wonderland, if you want to call it that, out in San Francisco. And they decided they were going to just do one big extravaganza where they just kind of do it and put everything together, and it'd be their last shot. And then what he wanted to do was he wanted to go out and do a documentary on it and have it. And so what he did was he got a hold of Martin Scorsese and said, "Would you help me? I want to put together this documentary." And he said, "Okay, great. I'll be happy to do that with you." So as they started to put the thing together, they decided to put together a gala. And the gala was going to be where they were going to have it at Winter. And it was going to be $25, and you get a Thanksgiving dinner. It was going to be on Thanksgiving Day, 1976. So when they put it together, as they began to do it, they invited all kinds of musicians, Eric Clapton, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Dr. John, Bob Dylan, Neil Diamond, and they were going to play, and then these guys and girls would come in at different parts and play along. Well, they ended up with 400 reels by the time this was all said and done, and they put it together and made it actually into a documentary that then had a soundtrack with it, and the soundtrack went to number 16 in 1978 when it came out, and it stayed on for a fairly long time. It's a great documentary. I've seen it before. You want to see that. And this thing then got him tied in with Martin. He started to like what movies were about and filming and producing. So he got involved in doing soundtracks. He got involved in producing and as I mentioned earlier, like Raging Bull. He was part of that, several other ones, and then he wrote a fair amount of books. He's won all kinds of awards. I'll just say that he made the Hall of Fame in 1994, and with the band, and he and the band made the Grammy Lifetime Achievement in 2008. And I promise you, this is like a snippet of what Robbie Robertson is. But I heard this song. It was in the collection, moving around, and it's 6, 7 years old. I think 2011 or something like that. And He Don't Live Here No More is the name of it. And Eric Clapton has a little bit to do with it on the guitar. So we're going to bring that one out for you. And then Geneva Magnus, Love is an Army. I ran into that also, and I just heard it and I liked it. I was searching around somewhere for something. It's a brand new tune, 2018. She does some nice blues. And then finally, Luis Davis, we're going to be getting to you with your request. Next, then, we'll go to Robbie and Geneva, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about the request.
slide right down again. There's no need for talking, heard those words before. Just one more nice story, then right out the door. I'm all mixed up, or so it feels. Might be what I need, but it's so damn real. It's so messed up to end this way. Everything is broken, I'm just too tired to say it. Oh, but that's what we do. You turn away, and I'm turning back to blue. Yeah, that's what we do. You're long gone, and I'm turning back to blue. Back to blue. Oh yeah. There's no need for holding. I don't want your touch, and no words I've said have ever hurt me this much. As hard as a mountain, as cold as the sea, it's how my heart feels. Please stop looking at me. You're all mixed up to come back around, looking for some mercy, but there's none to be found. It's so messed up, a dirty day, yeah. Ain't no going back now, this time we'll be for real. But that's what we do. You turn away, and I'm turning back to blue. Yeah, that's what we do. You're long gone, and I'm turning back to blue. Yeah, that's what we do. You turn away, and I'm turning back to blue. Yeah, said that's what we do. You're long gone, and I'm turning back to blue. Back to blue. Oh yeah. Why you wanna do that, babe? Hey,
Hi, this is David Sweetlaw on RadioWilder.com, where you can hear the newest and the best music in rock and roll.
What'd you think of Robbie? Sounded good, didn't he? You can, as you listen to music, I'm sure it's the same in all jazz and big band. I know it is in big band, you can see it. The great musicians want to play with the other musicians, or the people that are artistic or know what's happening. And have Eric join up with Robbie, along with many of the others, shows you the kind of quality and talent that he had in his band, the band did. It's a wonderful documentary, so if you get to see it, please do, because it's hard. It's just a very simple, The Last Waltz. How about Geneva Magnus, Back to the Blue, a nice blues tune, 2018, new. Heard her, had a good voice, and I thought she was sultry and sang nice blues, so we got a nice new one on here, 2018, and I'll have to listen. I got about 3 or 4 of hers, and I want to pay a little bit more attention. That's one that grabbed me, and therefore we put it on. Black Betty, Ram Jam, the very best of Ram Jam, just pretty much a one-hit wonder. Louise, it's a good song though, Louise Davis, got shuffled away in the dust on our request. I apologize, Louise. I don't know who you are. I don't think you're one of my Japanese fans, but you're a good fan, and we appreciate it. It's a good rocker. We're going to go ahead and play that. And I'm going to do 1 or 2 songs. I'm going to do that. I should take that back. And then we're going to do a James Brown song, and I have a little story about James Brown. Next, let's go to Deuces. Let's play a little music. Let's figure out what Black Betty is, and done by Ram Jam. Louise. She likes to rock it. Nice choice. Glad you brought that to the program. I was dancing around pretty well, pretty good to that one. Let's move forward a little bit to Mr. James Brown, a monster. Millions and millions of hits, had his own thing, Mr. Soul, hardest working man in show business, and he was a hard worker. We were in El Paso playing, and we had a night off, and we heard on the radio, we heard some James Brown stuff, and we liked it okay, but James Brown on a record and James Brown live are completely 180 degrees different. And we decided, let's go down there. I don't remember who we were down there with, 3 or 4. And in El Paso, the demographics are, it's mostly Spanish, and the black dudes are soldiers, and us white dudes are out there, and we're rockers. And we made up easily the minority, but we wanted to see the mighty James Brown. So we came in the Coliseum. It had a very beautiful, what we call low-hanging clouds in there in those days. If you lived in El Paso, Texas, if you went to a concert, they had that low-hanging cloud, and it wasn't Pall Mall cigarettes. So you came in, you were feeling pretty good, and I think we were probably feeling good anyways. We had a night off. So we come walking in there, and James, the choreography of his performance and the movement that man did for 2 hours mesmerized everybody. The girls were great. He had dual drummers. I had never seen dual drummers before. They had played. I was just watching them, paying rapt attention to them, how they did it synchronized. The stuff that James did and played, their horns were great. It was a serious show, and it really rocked us, and thought, okay, in those days when we played, we wanted to make sure we got to a point where we'd say a song or our set, or we were tight. I mean, we had everything dialed in. The rhythm was good. All the rest of it, believe me, he took it to a whole another level. It was a fabulous performance, and I started to listen to more of his music. We didn't start playing James Brown music, but it's one of those that you just said to yourself, there's an artist, there's a classic guy. And the song we're going to do tonight is Out of Sight. Simple, good dancer, good dancing one. I think people enjoyed dancing that. And then we're going to take it over to Radio Days, because it says Radio Days, so World Party on the Bang album. But back to James. I was in South Carolina going on a business trip, and I pulled into this, got off a big airliner, and then went to one of those little annexes where the smaller planes fly. And I saw all these people around this guy, and I looked and thought, that's James Brown. I think he's a very stocky guy. He used to be a boxer himself, solid. You wouldn't want to push James down, I don't think. And I just, I wanted to say something to him. There was too many, when I say a crowd around, I'm saying 8 or 10 people. And you're going to take a commuter, so there aren't a lot of people going to make the flight. And it was just my luck that when they loaded us up and put the seats in, I'm right next to James Brown. He's on the window, and I have him trapped on the outside. James and I had a fabulous conversation, and I wasn't a fan saying, oh, James, you were great, you were awesome. I just talked about that night in El Paso, how his band stunned all of us, brought everybody together, and I asked him questions like, how many hours did you put into choreography of that? How did the drummers practice? How did they work together? Because sometimes they do exactly the same thing, and then sometimes one would do an offbeat, and another would do another different thing. And I told him how much we admired, how much his work was. So that took about the 45-minute flight. So that was my James Brown story, and I was happy to have it. Next, it's music time. Music. 2 for you. We'll do 2, and then we're going to go into, Dave will take us into the Deuces or Wilder. And the Deuces or Wilder, up until 2 days ago, had 2 different songs in there. But I heard this, couldn't believe it was covering it, and it stunned me. I fact-checked it, like all the newspapers do. And I drilled down best I could, and it seemed real to me. And I'll let you judge for yourself, because I don't think you'll ever have a chance to decide or believe who actually is covering it. But when you hear the whole story, maybe you will. So 2 for you, music time on RadioWilder.com.
You got your high sneakers on, you're slipping new. You got your high sneakers on, and you're slipping new. You're more than all right. You know you're out of sight. You got a shapely figure, mama, that's keep me uptight. You got a shapely figure, mama, that keep me uptight. You're too much. You know you're out of sight. Hey, the way you do the thing you do, the way you kiss me too, the way you do the thing you do, You, my heart delight, that's what you are. You know you're out of sight. Ho! Hey, hey. You got a sweet disposition. Oh, you're always right. You got a sweet disposition. You know you're always right. You know just what you're doing, baby. You know you're out of sight. Ow. You're too much. You're the end. You're so here, baby. You know just where it's at. You're beautiful, mama. But most of all, you're out of sight. There's no doubt you're out of sight. Out of sight. Hey! Out of sight. You know this is something.
Well, let me put that to Professor Minford. Professor Minford, do you think that would be a good idea, a much better idea?
In one enormous error, the 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 enormous.
At least I'm sure it may be soon, Denmark.
That's it. More news later. Good news for Governor or not? Good, it's back to being Good news for Governor or not? It's back to being
So we could work it out, but I might
So be
have
it.
been sleeping. I used to give her up,
Fight.
but now I don't care.
So be it.
I plug you into heaven, turn up that level. I pull you in and out, watch the fuse and cause you just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't
I told him that I was deeply moved by a statement. I told him that I was deeply moved by a statement.
But all I see is chaos and misunderstanding. Why don't you turn it off? Leave the world alone. 'Cause you just don't know. 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 You just don't
Let's get the songs on the air. It's time for Harry's Deuces Are Wilder on RadioWilder.com.
In the 60s and 70s, you would say, "You're out of sight." It was kind of an all-encompassing term for awesomeness, greatness. You'd see whatever, or a great car, or that meal was out of sight. Mostly tied into the girls. A chick's out of sight. When James says, "You're just too much," it's beyond description. Your eyes, what your eyes are trying to translate, something like that. And while we carry things forward from the 70s and, maybe late 60s, but probably in the 70s, like Dudester, a few of the things like that everybody buys off on today, I don't hear anybody ever say anymore, "You're out of sight," or "You're too much." And I guess that's, those are the ones that didn't make it. Next, the Deuces Are Wilder. Davies brought us in by now, or will be bringing us in. It's Spanish Castle Magic, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, off Axis, Bold as Love. We've had Jimmy on before, and we'll have Jimmy on again because he may be the greatest. But he wasn't planned to be on. What was planned to be on was my boyfriend left me, I believe is what it was, by the Angels, or My Boyfriend's Back by the Angels, covered by the Ravenettes. It was ready to go up to 2 weeks ago, or 3 days ago. And I'm driving along, and I hear this song, and I look at it, and it says Mark Rivera / Billy Joel. And it's a friggin' cover of a Jimi Hendrix song. I don't believe it. So I go home and start fact-checking, if you will, fake newsing, or whatever you want to say. And the best that I can determine is that Mark has been in Billy's band forever. He's the horn player in the band, does some singing, also plays with Ringo, and quite a talent. Good-looking guy. Been involved in music for a long time. Well, apparently he decided he'd go out on his own. He'd do some more songs with Billy Joel. And Billy Joel said, let's change it up. Let's rock it a little bit more. Because Billy Joel can sing different stuff. He didn't just sing what he sings nowadays. Some of that's still great. Billy can sing. He has a voice. And the cut that I got was off a concert in Utah in November of 2017. And you won't recognize Billy Joel singing it. It is Billy Joel, and it's the cover of Spanish Castle Magic. I had to have it. I had immediately canned the Ravenettes, or one of my favorites, and the long-time forgotten Angels, and moved Jimmy, Mark, and Billy Joel into prime position. We'll play the double play, and then I think let's talk a little bit about Nashville, the greatness of Nashville, and what we found in Nashville, the Music City, and what we might bring back to the Wilder program from Nashville. It's time for Deuces Are Wilder.
It's very far away. It takes about half a day to get there. If we travel by dragonfly. No, it's not in Spain, but all the same, it's a good name, and the wind's just right. Hey! Hang on, my darling. Hang on if you wanna go. It's a really good place, isn't it? Just a little bit of sit on Spanish Castle Magic. The clouds are really low, and they overflow with cotton candy and battlegrounds, red and brown. But it's all in your mind. Don't think your time on bad things. Just float your little mind around. Look out! Hang on, my darling. Yeah. Hang on if you wanna go. Just a little bit of Spanish Castle Magic. Yeah, baby. Yeah, okay. takes about a half a day to get there if we travel by Dragonfly. No, it's not in Spain, but all the same, you know, it's a really groovy name, and the wind's just right. Hey, come, hang on, my darling, hang on if you wanna go. Lots of place for you and me. Oh, a little bit of Spanish gas magic. The clouds are really low, and they overflow with cotton candy and battleground red and brown. But it's all in your mind. Don't waste your time on sad things. Just throw your little mind away. Yeah, kick it now. Hang on, my darling. Hang on if you wanna go. It's the place you wanna be. Joe, a little bit of Spanish gas and magic. Bring it on.
Hopefully you can see why I had to rip them out and have that. When you have a voice, you can sing and you can cover. And out of the woodwork, out of a band like Patty did out of Bruce's band, and many others come out of the darkness, out of the behind, and move their way to the front of the band. And he obviously has. But you have Billy doing the backup. He said, Billy's an amazing guy. He can sing anything and do anything. And you hear him doing one thing. It was like when Etta moved over for us. We were lucky enough to grace the Wilders stage and left her jazz background to do Born on the Bayou. When you have it, you have it. All right, and Nashville has it. So we're going to go into Nashville just a little bit. And I've been to Nashville. This is my 6th time. The first 2 times were business. I didn't hang out. Next 4 times were stop-offs, once for a wedding, once for my car, different things. But you got a good vibe in Nashville, and obviously it's the music city. The difference of Nashville when you live there for 3 or 4 days, we got in there late, torture, plane 4 hours late for us, and our pals that were going to meet us 3 hours late for them, got into a hotel kind of late. And our Friday, we were going to have an opportunity, which was disappointing. We were trying to meet these. It's another project that we're trying to put together. I haven't been very successful for you, but anybody who knows me know I am an animal and I am a bulldog, and I will bring these things in one way or another now that we have a show and I have IOUs to you. And we were supposed to meet this. Well, we went back and forth. It's this teacher we want to get on the program who's just sounds like a wonderful teacher, and it's a music class, and people are to learn how to put songs together and record them. And I'm not going to go into all of them. And he was nice enough to reach back out to me and said, this is last minute. He said, I can't believe you're going to Nashville. I'm taking 25 students today to Nashville. Who would have thought it? He said, you're welcome to come join us last minute at a studio. So the four of us were waiting to see if that happened. Otherwise, we're going to drive up to Corvette Land so Bill could see the Corvette Museum, went to a distillery, et cetera, et cetera. Well, then Friday night, we went to Ryman, I should say. I better say it right now since I've been there. Ryman Auditorium is what it's actually called. Built in 1892. For the original Grand Opry was there. There was no Grand Ole Opry going on in 1892. It was a church. It was putting on plays, or who knows all the things that went on for 33 years before it became home of the Grand Ole Opry. We sat in pews. The acoustics were wonderful, and just being in an old building like that with that fabulous sound, all that happened after that just got better because Tedeschi trucks came on, and I cannot tell you how Susan Tedeschi can sing. She just goes up to that microphone and smashes it. She's like Bonnie Raitt, except with more power, if you can actually believe that. Has the beautiful tones, but man, she was wailing after 3 hours. And her husband is a fabulous guitar player. That's why they have the 2 T's of the band. But we were treated to a 12-piece group, horns, backups, dual drummers again, by the way. We got some organ action going on. We got piano. We even had some flute. It was a fantastic performance, and it was all of us had planned to go out and party some more afterwards. We were going to go out and hit the streets, but she battered us so much, the band did, that we just slunk back to the hotel, KO'd, got ready for Saturday. But the music, a place, and Saturday we're going to do the Grand Ole Opry in there, and I'll make that short and quick. The Grand Ole Opry is the Grand Ole Opry. I would have rather, to go to the place, since new and it's modern, was wonderful. I just didn't think the talent was up to par. In fact, a couple of stars, I'm not going to name any of them, couldn't hit the notes, couldn't do the things, but to go there, it was really great. Then we came back and did a review of the show, and we just, everywhere you went, as everybody knows, everybody's trying to make it in Nashville, so at 3, 4, like Vegas, except I thought it was more honest than Vegas. People are singing and playing everywhere. We saw old granny, they called her. I don't remember exactly what the Taylors, I think they were called. She was a great guitar player, and her daughter was doing the singing. I saw there in the afternoon. You know, you're eating a hamburger and somebody's playing. And I can only tell you from the other side of the stage, it's very disturbing and weird when you're playing music. And we used to do it at like officers' clubs and stuff. People are eating and you're playing, and you get paid good, but it's not the mood you want to see. But of course, for the military in those days, you did what you needed to do. But the fun day was Sunday. We went over to Vanderbilt. And of course, we all said we're going to come back. We wanted to get more of it. We went over to Vanderbilt to see Matt Schaller's son, Reed, pitch. Heather and Matt met us, and we all had breakfast, and their other son, Mason, was there. We went out to a neat-looking ballpark, very clean, and Vanderbilt's a very good baseball team, and I think Reed sounds like a wonderful baseball prospect. He may declare for the draft. I begged Matt to let me be his agent. I said I'd do it for 3%, but he crushed me and said that's not happening. But after we left there, it was a little chilly in the air. It rained pretty good the night before. We were just going to walk down, and the other thing that happened to us is Marlene and I were Uber virgins. We never knew how that worked, and Bill and Donna turned us on, so we were Ubering everywhere. Couldn't believe how cool that was, how much fun that was, and leaving the car. It was so great we turned the car back in. I said, here, have it. I think we started Ubering on a Saturday. We needed to go up to Bowling Green on Friday. Well, fast forward to the fun part. So Bill said, hey, there's a Piggly Wiggly across the street. Now, those of you down south, I know you've heard or know, or family knows, a Piggly Wiggly. It used to be a supermarket chain. They still have them. They're still around, but they were big down south. They were big down in Texas, big where we live. Cute, had a pig on the front. Reminded me of my Lord's bass drum head, except mine was a little greater because my friend painted a beautiful crown on it. Had a little bit more, but this is a smiling pig, nothing to laugh at. Bill goes into the store, and he looks down there. He said, I know they usually carry, these grocery stores have T-shirts or sweatshirts or things like that, and I want to get one. I'm a little chilly. He goes back and finds the coolest of sweatshirts. Music, Piggly Wiggly, Music City, etc., etc. On the back, the pig. He didn't get more than halfway to the counter, and I said, I got to have one, so I got one. Put it on. Bill and I put it on. We Ubered our way downtown and became a sensation. That's an exaggeration, but not as much as you would think. We were stopped by people continuously all afternoon. Oh, Piggly Wiggly. Oh, I love Piggly Wiggly. We used to go to say we're going to the pig to get our groceries, and my brother used to work at Piggly. But we had people wanted to take pictures with us of our Piggly Wiggly sweatshirts. So my dream is, we even had a picture with the owner of the store, Piggly Wiggly. He thanked us for buying the stuff, and we said, hey, how about having a picture? His name was Kenneth. So the three of us in there, maybe Terry has those loaded up or not. I'd love to have the Piggly Wiggly sweats, a little going to charity, maybe revitalize it. The guy's a smart guy, branding his stuff. And that was a lot of fun being stopped. And even when you weren't stopped, people would be staring at you. You could just tell they were looking at you like, these dopes are wearing Piggly Wiggly. I can promise you this. In that whole, I don't want to call it, I keep thinking of New Orleans, the quarter. I don't want to call it the quarter, but it is similar. Nobody else was wearing a Piggly Wiggly sweatshirt. Nobody, except for Bill and I. We cherish them. We like them. Hopefully they'll be on the Wilder program and you can have them for yourself. And those of you that live down south, you'll want to have yours for sure. All right. And we got the now. There's our story for the day. Nashville. It's fun. I'm going to go and take a peek back into the area, the comfort zones for me, the 50s of that when you're a teeny little kid in here, either my Ricky or my Everly Brothers, all you have to do is dream. And this show has turned out to kind of be a dream. That's a 59 tune. Their voices are just as great today. They're timeless as far as voice goes. And I don't have a lot of great stickies after that. I just have songs on that I like. So I think I'll hit, what will we do? Let's go 2, and we'll hit the Everly Brothers, and then we'll do a song by Rhinoceros. And it was off the famous Satin Chickens album. You remember that, 1969. Oh, it's just a good song. They sing well, and you'll catch the drift of the song. We'll do those 2. Back pop into the 60s. We'll do the 50s and 60s, 59 and 69. We'll stop and take a little peek at 2018, and then we'll get close. And we have about 3 or 4 more tunes. We'll hype you up into what's going on. But, as you know, as soon as Backdoor's over, you know where we're going next. We're going to the pages of the Enquirer. Enjoy. All I have to do is dream.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue in the night, and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, 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 dream.
You're listening to RadioWilder.com with new tunes from a new English artist March 23rd. Listen for it right here on RadioWilder.com.
Now look at here. You're the first one I ever phoned that came to town to do this record. And I'll tell you, I've been missing you real bad, and I want to see you. Hey, I jet out in my kitchen and make me some coffee while I see who's at the front door. Get out the back door, fast you can. Get out the back door. I'll tell you about it later. I ain't letting you down. Honey, come on in, baby. How you been? Sugar, you sure looking so fine. No, I ain't wearing no perfume, and I still smoke the same old brand. So what makes you think that I've been seeing someone else other than the apple of my eye? Guess I better get out the back door. Yes, I can. Get out the back door. Like an old pots and pans. Get out the back door. Now listen here, folks. Now I've had enough of that stuff. I know I should have stuck with the first one in the first place. I'm gonna head over to the house now. Here she comes. Yeah, baby. How you doing? Honey, open the door, baby. Don't be sore. Sugar, let's make love some more. It sure is nice to be loved. My girl's so tender and so fine. What's out of here? Who's that opening the door with a gun in his hand? Oh, lady, guess I better get out the back door. Fast I can. Get out the back door. Oh, he's got a gun in his hand. Get out the back door. You didn't tell me it was your old man. Hey, I don't want no part of this. How could you do such a thing to me? After two men at the same time, I ain't got no respect for you. And here I give you all the love I got. Oh, you make a man go off and be a hermit.
Been involved in that scene once or twice. You go to the Everly Brothers. That's Marlene calls it a buckle polisher. Their voices are just so beautiful. If you have a great voice, it really doesn't matter what type of music you're playing. It transcends everything, and they always do, and they always will.
Breaking Wilder news, courtesy of Harry's National Enquirer, spelled with an I, where inquiring minds and behinds want to know. This is big.
All right, now, the Enquirer this week is a little rugged, so I don't want you to get all distressed about it, but reality's reality in our world. You know how it is now. All you have to do is look around, and there's nothing too good to talk about. But we're going to take a look at Melanie Griffith. You might know her. She's got some problems. She has she needs a new nose, basically. She has a ferocious flesh-eating cancer is devouring her nose and then her face. And more troubling than this is that this medical setback that she's suffering, and there's really not a very good picture of her. And I wouldn't really make light of somebody having any kind of cancer, and I'm not, because it's serious if it's in the Enquirer. However, when I read the next couple of lines, I thought, I don't know if they're just trying to give the old double point to Melanie. She's not one of their proudest subjects. I love you, Enquirer, but you know how some of the media picks on certain people. I think sometimes my publishers over at the Enquirer, well, they're not my publishers, but I'd like to have them be my publishers, sometimes get down on somebody, get ugly with them. But back to the flesh-eating nose or cancer that's ripping into her nose, what has disturbed the author of this is the medical setback may have triggered a relapse, because as previously photo snapped a few months back in the Enquirer, the pictures show a white powder-like substance on the inside of the former cokehead's nostrils. That is a sign, by the way, that she may be sniffing around for more trouble. Moving along, we move over to Elvis's daughter, the lovely Lisa. Now, her money-hungry husband is chasing Lisa around, her cash stash, as they like to call it. Now, Lisa claims she's homeless and doesn't have any money, but at one time she had command of $1 billion fortune. But an unscrupulous money manager wasted away $100 million of hers. She's not happy about that. I don't think anybody'd be happy about it. She claims she's pretty much busted. And on the other side, though, her money-hungry 56-year-old Michael Lockwood, he's getting really ugly with his lawyers. He claims that she has $31 million in assets, including an $11 million trust fund. He wants his share, and he's going to get his share. So we don't know how that's going to turn out. It is what they call an ugly or a divorce shocker. You know how they bring that up, because it is shocking when you see these things happen. I'm actually a little bit more shocked about somebody going through $100 million, but what does that matter in the world of thing? Then we move over to a gentleman that you all know is Smokey the Bandit, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Well, apparently Burt killed. This headline say Burt Reynolds killed my hubby, and he's been hiding the secret for decades and decades, and finally only the Enquirer can reveal the claim. So the three people, it was a love triangle between Sarah Miles and Burt and her lover manager, David Whiting. And apparently one night she had been out with Burt, I'm sure sightseeing or something with Burt, came back to their palace. She came back, Burt dropped her off, and her husband was giving her a hard time, so Sarah called Burt. Burt manhandled David, smashed his head into a card table and kind of busted his head a little bit. But everybody claimed he was okay. But then later, it seemed like at the end of all that, he was found later overdosed with a whole big bunch of pills, and they were all laying around him. It kind of looked like people had kind of set it up, if you will. So she claimed, her name is Nancy Jefferson, just so you can fill in the love triangle, that Burt's been hiding that for decades, but the Enquirer brought it out for you, so you can find out and have some new knowledge about Burt and his murder that maybe he will not get away with. You catch these guys, Wagner and Burt and everything, out there murdering, killing people. You got to bring them to justice. That's what I say. Okay, so these were kind of rough stories, I'll admit it. But I got to read what the Enquirer gives me, and I could go to lower stuff, the B sections in the newspaper. They hide it under a business and stuff, but I like to bring it out front, keep the news fresh, so you'll get to have it and understand it, and see what really happens in your dull life and in my dull life compared to these people. They've got a lot of action going on. Now, there is something here that you can afford. You don't need $100 million. We have this week special, and it's the best way to describe it. I'll describe its name. It's called The Beautiful Dreamer. You can feel her breathe, hear her heartbeat, and she has touchably soft, hand-rooted, by the way, hair. She responds to your gentle, loving touch, and it's an incredible value. I bring in nothing but incredible values. This
It was done by an artist called Andrea Arkello. Now, people have paid thousands for her product before, but buying it through the Enquirer, this beautiful gift, you can pick it up for $159.99, or, of course, on the easy installment plan of $39.99. So hopefully you people are taking advantage of these deals that we're bringing you through the Enquirer, because they're not always just going to last. I'm still thinking about that beautiful $45 ring. I probably wish I'd have got that for Marlene for Valentine's Day, just to show what I feel about her. And, you know, it had gold, and I don't remember all the things that were in it. But I hope we'll have one of our listeners, or a dozen of our listeners, reach out and tell me how satisfied their partner was when they received that $45 ring. All right, enough from the Enquirer. It's kind of a downhill for me, because once I'm at the Enquirer, I'm worn out by the power of the story, so I have to relax a little bit. So we had the rhinoceros and the in and out of the back and front door with the gentleman. Now we're going to go into 2018. We got another one out by our band, one of the Wilder favorites, Fall Out Boy, off a Mania album called Champion. We're going to have that. And then Crazy Elephant's coming on the stage. Again, I don't have a lot of, what's the term? We don't have a lot of stickies today. But the ones that we had were long. Crazy Elephant, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin'. Who doesn't want that? That's from the 60s. And it's a good rock and roll song. Always liked it, always enjoyed it. Then we're going to finish with two Hall of Famers and another fine Southern rock group. I think probably the best thing to do before I fall down is bring a real champion out, let Fall Out Boy do their 2018 cut, and we'll pop back in, get you a little lovin' from 1969.
I'm calling you from the future to let you know we made a mistake. And there's a far from the past that's giving me such a headache.
And I'm back with the madness. I'm a champion of the people who don't believe in champions. I got nothing but dreams inside. I got nothing but dreams. I'm just young enough to still believe. But young enough not to know what to believe in. Young enough not to know what to believe in, yeah. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. I got rage every day on the inside. The only thing I do is sit around and kill time. I'm trying to blow out the pilot light. I'm trying to blow out the light. I'm just young enough to still believe. But young enough not to know what to believe in. Young enough not to know what to believe. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. If I can live through this, if I can live through this, if I can live through this, I can do anything. Champion, I can do anything. Champion.
those songs. That's a 50-year-old song, basically a 49-year-old song. Kids, and that's around. It still gets you dancing. The Crazy Elephant, Gimme Gimme Good Lovin', Champion from Fall Out Boy. That's about a 50-year spread between those two right there. Looking forward to next week. I don't really, because I'm a little bit ahead of the ball game. I'll give you a little sneak preview. We'll go to Showtime 23. What I will say about it is we're going to start putting the double requests in so I can knock my IOU. I have enough IOUs to everybody with all these videos I'm promising and Piggly Wiggly shirts and school this and charity, Be Kind People Project. IOUs all over, and I don't like that. But I can give you a treat and tell you that we're going to do a little Elmore James and Eric are going to help us out in the double play, the Deuces. And then in honor of Nashville, when I was down there, we went down to, of course, several of the museums, Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline. And even when I was up and down the hall dusting at KGY, the mighty 690, I always liked Patsy Cline. My dad brought her to El Paso at Liberty Hall. I've mentioned many times that didn't mean anything to me. I'm a rocker. If he'd have brought somebody, who knows, Beach Boys to town, I'd love that. But I always appreciated a wonderful song, so we went by the Patsy Cline, and we'll do that. And then one of the requests is actually going to be for my little sister. She wants to get that out. And then there's a song that is produced especially, another first for the Wilder program, by Mr. Butch Walker. He's doing it especially. And he titles it Wild in the Heart. So, Wilder in the Heart. And I appreciate Butch putting that out for us as the show really gets some legs. I'm looking forward to doing it. We had a wonderful time down in Nashville Music. We got some more ideas. We got some good stuff coming up because of that. As always, appreciate it. I'm going to look Tuesday and see if another country has joined up. And we're going to find out who this one request is out of the several we got last 2 days that we're hoping that maybe Italy has joined up to the program. I can speak a little bit of Italian. I know pizza and wine, and I know what the flag looks like. And I know I don't know that it's Italian, but I know what gelato is. So I'm a little bit more up to speed on that to honor the fans if we can get to Italy. We're going to end with 3. Just let you listen to a fair amount of music. Elton John makes his debut on the Wilder stage. He's going to do Tiny Dancer. We saw him in Vegas. If you've not seen him, he's a master, consummate professional, great musician, actually, besides that. And he's somebody that once he's up, when you put somebody out live and they're greater than the records, that's all you need to know about what their performance level can be. Then we're going to go to the Marshall Tucker Band. Well, I'm not going to say it's an honor of Steve, but it's one of the Southern groups. They're still playing. They started in the 70s, lost one of the original members in a bad car wreck. And the trivia on this, Marshall Tucker, they were in a warehouse practicing, and they saw this Marshall Tucker, kind of a little sign over one of the doors in the warehouse. It was actually a blind piano tuner. That's where Marshall Tucker came from. Then we're going to end up with one of rock and roll's top 100 songs of all time, done by Mr. Masterful Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone. It's a good song to end it out, and we'll just roll right out of here like a rolling stone. Another successful week. And every week for me, for Terry, for Dave, we just look forward with hopefully bringing in all these different things that we want. I'm anxious to hear if anybody used the meditation tape, if you liked it, or the mellow tape, or the yoga tape. It's just there to be used by you. You're not going to receive too many lectures from me. No hot air, nothing on it. It's just music, music, music. If you have suggestions for that, when you go in to request a song, I would really appreciate that you specifically say, Harry, why don't you move it out? Because we'll change it out occasionally so that it'll be different for you. But what Terry did, as I mentioned earlier in the show, he knew how well it was working when he put his 2 dogs to sleep while he was doing some recording this afternoon. That's the kind of stuff that we hope. It's mellow. I like to get mellow. I like to meditate. Kind of terrorize of yoga. Marlene gave me a yoga demonstration once up in Taos, and I tried to go along. And men, we're not built like Gumby, so it's not always a very wonderful thing. Thank you very much from all of us at the station, at the show. I did get a request from somebody that said, Harry, I really enjoy listening to your station. I wish it was a station, but another thing that you might be able to see, it may or may not be up when Terry did the video of my little station, if you will, here, the studio. I'm like a mole in the dark here, but I enjoy it that way. And maybe that will look at that as a station. Music, music, music. Appreciate it very much. Looking forward to next week. Look forward to all weeks. Have a great one yourself. Enjoy the weekend. And go out with some pretty fine music. You got two big boys. You got Hall of Famers taking you out 2 out of the last 3. And that's what we like to do for you at the Radio Wilder, and do for us too. We enjoy it just as much as you do. So goodbye from the deck, from the stage, from the mountain of RadioWilder.com.
Blue jean baby, LA lady, seamstress for the band, pretty eye, pirate smile, you marry a music man, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus freaks out in the street, handing tickets out for gone, turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes a stand in their auditorium, looking on. She sings the songs, the words she knows, June she hums. But oh, how it feels so real, lying here with no one near, only you, and you can hear me when I say softly, slowly, of landing. You had to miss the day today. All because of tiny dancers. Count the headlights on the highway. Lay me down in sheets of linen. You had to miss the day today.
Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, rolling them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and sifting from 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sinning was the big thing, Lord, and sin was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. All girls were the evening tree, empty cartridges and bloodlines, the gutters of the street. Men were shot down for the sake of fun, or just to hear the nose of their 40-foot guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man she couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame. All for a useless and no good, wordless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Waiting for me there.
summertime, you dress so fine, through the bumps of dime in your prime. Then people call, say beware doll, you're bound to fall. You thought they were all kidding you. You used to laugh about everybody that was hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud. Now you don't seem so proud about having to be scrounging your next meal. How does it feel? How does it feel to be without a home? Like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone. Oh, you've gone to the finest school, all right, Miss Lonely, but you know you only used to get juiced in it. Nobody's ever taught you how to live out on the street, and now you're gonna have to get used to it. You say you never compromise with a mystery tramp, but now you realize he's not selling any alibis as you stare into the vacuum of his eyes and say, do you want to make a deal? How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home? A complete unknown, like a rolling stone. Ah, you never turned around to see the frowns on the jugglers and the clowns when they all did tricks for you. Never understood that it ain't no good. You shouldn't let other people get your kicks for you. You used to ride on a chrome horse with your diplomat, who carried on his shoulder a Siamese cat. Ain't it hard when you discover that he really wasn't where it's at? After he took from you everything he could steal. How does it feel? How does it feel to have you on your own? No direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone. Ah, princess on the steeple and all the pretty people, they're all drinking, thinking that they got it made, exchanging all precious gifts. But you better take your diamond ring, you better pawn it, babe. You used to be so amused at Napoleon and rags and the language that he used. Go to him now, he calls you, you can't refuse. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, you got no secrets to conceal. How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own with no direction home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?
You've been listening to RadioWilder.com, now partnering with the Be Kind to People project. Be sure you're listening next week for Wilder News Flashes, how you can get a hot new Wilder t-shirt, and who it helps. Cool rock and roll videos. Look for Ty Grimes and Trace Hombres on RadioWilder.com, plus interviews and more. It's all right here when you log on to RadioWilder.com.
Hi, this is David Sweetlow, and you're listening to RadioWilder.com.